So for my second final project, we had to create a FactoryIO project with 3 processes and all 3 of the processes connected together. So this is basically what I created for my 3 processes. So I got a separator over here, and then I have 2 CNC machines which cut out lids and bases. And then I have the pick and place, which picks up the lids and then places the lids on the bases. For mine, for the most part, this separator machine took me the longest to even get it to work correctly, because these emitters, I tried doing it at random first, and the randomizer to let the 2 different parts that I chose would sometimes place 10 parts of one part and not the other. So therefore I didn't have enough conveyor space to confiscate for that. But after a long time, we finally figured out this would work the best. It's probably took most of my time on this project and trying to even get it to work. Probably should have scrapped it earlier on, but I guess, I don't know, I chose not to scrap it. So we'll try and get this thing started. So now that I got some stuff reset, alright. So when you press the start button, it should automatically emit 2 parts, and then start this conveyor and test whether the part is plastic or metal, and then separate the plastic parts on the left side and the metal parts on the right side. And then if you have it in manual mode, it should only do 5 parts. But in auto mode, it should fill up this conveyor all the way up to the machine. Hopefully it works. We don't have any latency issues. For some reason, this is all. Yeah, I don't know what it's doing. Sometimes it'll work perfectly, sometimes it won't work. Other problems I had was the conveyors look level, but they're not actually level. And sometimes that'll mess it up. Sometimes the parts will get caught in here. I don't know. Let's just say I had quite a few problems with the separator. It's probably the most problematic sequence of this machine. And then it'll keep going on until it hits these 2 machines here. There's still some bugs every now and then. Sometimes these parts will get stuck in here. I didn't get quite finished. So some things that I would change. Let's let this keep going. Come on. Almost there. So once both these machines start, and there it's already messing up. It's nice. So once both these machines start, it'll pause this. It'll pause the separator and all these conveyors, and then once both these machines are done, it's gonna come over here, drop a lid off, and then drop a base off, and then these conveyors are gonna take it all the way up to this pick and place. I still have some issues with this pick and placer, because for some reason the graphics won't let me put this thing all the way up against there like it should be able to. For some reason it doesn't allow me to do that. Right now it's not working apparently. This is gonna be a fail. Oh yeah, so apparently it's not working in auto mode right now, so I'm gonna have to switch this over to menu mode. Show you basically what it's supposed to do. And then it clamps it, shuts conveyor off, picks it up, comes over. It doesn't come all the way over because of, and then shoot it off the end like that. And then should I reshut the conveyor off? Apparently I forgot it. This one's still got problems with it. Didn't get fully done. Yeah, I didn't get this one fully done, so it still has some problems with it. But the reason why it doesn't allow me to extend this all the way over and set it directly on top is, for some reason, this graphic here will not let me scoot this any closer to this here, even though this doesn't move at all. And there's quite a bit of space. So that's the next problem with this one. So nothing I can really do about it since I already have the machine pretty much built, unless I restart and then put space in between these two conveyors and have one of these, this one flopped, so this side of this clamp over here is in the middle between these two conveyors, so I can scoot this all the way over. Didn't notice that until I started programming on it, and then pretty much it was already too late to try and restart. Basically that's about it, other than I do not have an HMI built because most of my time was spent on this, and then I was trying to get the rest of them to work together, and then I realized that I don't have very much time left. So let's show you my programming. So we have my main program, which has my emergency stops. They're all wired together. And then my selector switches for auto, and then manual, they're all wired together too. Then we got my JSRs, which jumps into my inputs and integers and outputs. Inputs, IO map, integer IO map, and outputs IO map. And then I have my separator program, and then my machine program, and then my 2X program, and then my conveyors in between the machines, so it'd be these 3 conveyors and these 3 conveyors. These 3 and these 3 are all, actually it'd be these 4, are all in that conveyor program. Thought it'd be easier to separate them up. The L and the R machines are basically the same program. The only difference is the right machine has a delay on it before it starts. That way they would start and, or that way they would stop or unload a part at the same time. If the part goes in at the same time, they'll unload at the same time. That was my plan anyways, to try and get these 2 machines sequenced so they would unload at the same time to make it easier for this machine. But there's some little tweaks in here that I would have to try and fix, which I don't have time anymore to try and fix. Basically that sums up my final project. I mean, I don't know, I would have rather worked hands-on to do final project because I learned better hands-on than trying to work with this software. There's some little glitches in the softwares and the conveyors and stuff that was giving me problems also that I had to try and work around. It wasn't too bad, other than I did learn a lot. That's about it. Did create a parts list for this, so like my capacitive sensors, which would be, and inductive sensors, there's 2 of each. So technically 4 of them sensors on here, which they are both located right here on this bar. That's what detects if the part is plastic or metal. And then diffuse sensor, that would be all the little blue sensors down the conveyor. These little blue ones here. And then the emergency stop buttons, the start buttons, and the lights, and the buzzer. So I pretty much quoted all of them out. So just for that stuff would be around $3,604. Then I have my PLC IO map in here also. That's about it. I mean, nothing else I can really do because I kind of ran out of time. If I could change one thing about building this, I definitely probably would have just, right at the start, I would have kicked this idea out and had the 2 parts automatically load into the machines, and then do a have it machine out the lids and the bases, and then do pick and place just like this, except I would make this pick and place so it actually would place directly on top of it, and then do like a packaging system over here. That's about it. Gave me a lot of problems.